My name's Alex Starr, and I've been living in Neenah for the past 12 years of my life. Over the past 12 years, I've grown a deep affinity for this city. There's something really special about where I live. But where is this Neenah place exactly? Neenah is a small community of 25,000 situated on the banks of Lake Winnebago and the Fox River, approximately 40 miles southwest of Green Bay. What makes this community different than others? Is it the people, the beauty, the jobs? To understand what exactly makes this community tick, we have to first look at the history.
Neenah has been a community occupied by Native Americans or American Indians for thousands of years. If you want to get specific about dates with when Neenah was incorporated, for instance, well, a lot of times people rely on the date 1835 because the federal government established a Menominee mission in Neenah at that time, but that mission failed. Neenah incorporated as a village in 1856, and then Neenah incorporated as a city in 1873. So there are a lot of different dates you could use to describe when Neenah came to be, but I mean, maybe it's important to know them all. The Neenah Historical Society is important because it helps people have a framework and understanding of where we've come from as a community. If you don't have that historical perspective, you really can't understand the community as well as you can with that. My family came to Neenah in the mid-1800s, so I have a history that is very long in the community, and it's a history of involvement in the community, so I think it seemed very natural for me to be part of that continuing story. After we finished graduate school, my husband started working for Kimberly-Clark. We came back, we raised all 4 of our kids here, and it's just been a wonderful place to raise a family. It's a very safe area. It's just home.
Community involvement is a way Neenah stands out from other cities. This involvement begins with Future Neenah. Future Neenah is a nonprofit made up of community members and volunteers dedicated to promoting the economic and cultural vitality of Neenah.
I like what Future Neenah does for bridging the gap between public and private partnerships to make things happen. So they're actively involved in making changes in our community and looking ahead to the future, hence the name Future Neenah. So we're always looking ahead to what's next, what the community might need, what the community might want to be involved in, and that's everything from community businesses and lifting them up and making sure it's a place that they can prosper and grow, and it's the individuals as well who get involved in volunteerism or donating to causes that they care about, making sure happen in our community.
Future Neenah relies on the generosity of the community for funding. Their continued success is attributed to hard-working individuals and strong community backing.
Loop the Lake is a trail project behind us to navigate Neenah. Menasha became the fundraising entity for this project to happen. That was driven by Future Neenah. So what our goal was, what our piece of the project was bringing the community together for investment in order to make meaningful trail connections that span across municipal boundaries. So the feedback that we got from one cyclist was, wow, we have a lot of great trails in our area, but they have a lot of weird stops. And so I started to look into, why do they just stop? Why do you have a really great trail here, and then a little bit further down you have another great trail, but they don't necessarily connect? And Loop the Lake was a good example of that. We had a large trestle bridge and municipalities that worked on that, as well as some generous donors that helped make that happen. And when you looked at a map, you could see 3/4 of the trail already completed, and then there was this section where it just stopped. Neenah is special to me not only for the people that surround us, but the multiple opportunities that people embrace. So we have great programs that can move forward within our schools. We have great things that are meaningful to me, like park spaces, but it's friendly neighbors working towards the same goal that really create quality of life, and that's what makes it special to me.
Neenah is a booming economic center for industry, hosting significant steel and paper industries, perhaps most notable, the home of Neenah Foundry, which produce manhole covers that can be found all over the world. Kimberly-Clark was founded in Neenah and still maintains significant operations here.
I'm Lori Borchard, and I am an employee at Kimberly-Clark Corporation. I'm in the sales area, and I live in Neenah with my husband Brian and 3 kids. I've lived in Neenah for just about 40 years, 40. I was born at Theda Clark Hospital, just across the river here, and I went away to university for 4 years, but came back, thankfully, to gain my employment with Kimberly-Clark. And while I had opportunities to leave throughout the course of my career, somehow I just stayed, and it's been a great journey and life here in Neenah. So I would say Neenah is special to me because of the people. We're very lucky to have 4 seasons. Some years they're more distinct than others, but really lucky. We're here in this beautiful summer day today, but we also are really lucky to have a beautiful fall with the leaves colors changing. Winter can be actually really enjoyable for me. I do like to enjoy winter sports and activities outside, as well as in the spring and just seeing the flowers come up. But I think what makes Neenah special beyond the seasons is the people. People in Neenah are just very welcoming, very caring, and there's never a shortage of people who want to come together, and whether it's celebrate in a park or to volunteer for an event. I think that's really special.
No community can thrive without leadership. Neenah's mayor, Dean Crawford, grew up in Neenah. His family underwent many struggles that weigh on them. The community was there to support them through these struggles. This inspired him to give back to the community and run for mayor.
Yeah, I've lived here all my life, between Neenah and Menasha, but I've been in this community, in this area, since I was born in Menasha, but been in Neenah, raised in Neenah, went to Neenah High School, had 2 daughters who went through the Neenah school system. Neenah's been my life for the last 60 years, and I've been pretty fortunate to represent it in a couple different ways as a legislator and as mayor. You don't find this type of atmosphere in a lot of places in America. Neighbors wave to each other, neighbors talk to each other, people are strolling the community constantly, people still hold doors open for people, and when people do have instances where they need help or the community needs help, people are willing to step up. It's a community where you can raise your kids. We have a great education system here in Neenah. We have wonderful recreational opportunities with the park and rec system. Riverside Park is full of activity day in, day out, and people are pleased in the direction I think that Neenah's headed with our growth, making sure that we're keeping these people who live here, their wants are in mind. We're always cognizant of the checkbook and the taxpayer's ability to pay, but we also want to create an environment that people say, hey, we live in a pretty cool community. I know as mayor, I'm pretty proud to represent this community. I'm pretty lucky that I get the opportunity to do that, and I take it serious. I work hard because this community is worth it.
The school system in Neenah is another aspect that draws families to this community. With over 6,200 students, Neenah continues to be a front runner in many areas, including academics, athletics, and the arts. Mr. Borchard is a teacher at Neenah High School. Let's see his perspectives on Neenah.
It's interesting, I met my wife in college at UW Oshkosh, and I was born and raised in Milwaukee. And so, truthfully, the last place I thought would be a smaller town, especially Neenah. I've only heard of Neenah back in the day when, for flatgrass tournament, a lot of my friends would play soccer up here. But we got out of college and found employment and settled in, so it's been about 25 years being in Neenah, and haven't regretted a moment of being here. Just speaking from the Neenah Joint School District's perspective, and actually having the opportunity to have our kids go through the parochial schools as well, it's the people. I think that there's this investment in this belief that the school system can do amazing things. The teachers I work with are some of the hardest working teachers and people I've ever seen. I think that there is a service component to a lot of what we do above and beyond. There's hours where teachers will meet, the whole proverbial, we got our summers off. Not really. We're working all summer trying to provide things, getting things ready, knowing that that's a job to do, but I think what I can honestly say happens is it's almost like a passion, because in the state of affairs and the way things are with teaching and things, it's not like you're going to be a rich or a millionaire, so there has to be another component to it. And as I pass my colleagues in the hall and I see them building relationships with students, it makes me feel like I want to be a part of this. I do think that there's a culture of caring and investment in kids and wanting to be a part of this, and teachers all throughout Neenah, I have definitely put a lot of effort into making this a great place for kids to grow up and expand. Whether it be college, or whether it be a tech school, or whether it be right to work, I think Neenah has definitely focused that shift, and it gives kids the opportunity to be what they want to be, or what they have that potential to be. And it's not like, well, you must go here, or you must do that. It's, hey, where do you want to go, and we'll make it happen. And that's what we kind of stress there at the high school for sure, and I know throughout the Neenah Joint School District as well.
No community is complete without a network of small businesses to enjoy. Mary and Bobby Green, the owners of Green's Poorhouse, have a pub downtown Neenah that beat the odds when it opened 6 years ago. They attribute much of their success to the supportive downtown community.
My name is Mary Green, and I am both a teacher and a business owner in Neenah. It's been amazing. I think the best part of what we're doing is there's so many different pockets of people that we have become friends with, both with teaching and church and school and my kids and their friends and their families. So it's not only the businesses in the area, but the families in the area that have been a huge supporter of us. I feel like there's a great community here that really supports the downtown area. And so anytime we try to do anything else besides what we're doing here, we always try to support local businesses as well. Now that it's been 6 years, I feel like we have a pretty solid customer base, but I'm always looking to do things better to keep things fresh. Like we put the garage doors in downstairs last year, and we don't have a huge outdoor space, so I wanted to somehow bring the outdoors in. I love where we are on the corner because I feel like it's something we see as you come down Neenah. So it has been neat to see how many people support us because we bring business downtown. I walk between here and home and sort of think of Pleasantville because the trees are lined on the streets, and it's just a neat place for people to grow up. It's a community that believes in itself, and it's not just a place to live. We're invested in keeping it real and keeping a good community for our families to grow up in, and people take pride and want to make sure that what we're doing and where we're going is all forward-looking instead of, well, this is what we've always done. And I think that's what we want to do here too, is 5 years from now, 10 years from now, where can we make sure we're going so that it's not just okay?
Whether it's Neenah's vibrant history, booming economy, supportive and involved community, dedicated school system, positive leadership, or its exceptional small businesses, something about this city brings people in and helps them establish a home here for life. Neenah really is a special place that locals never take for granted. Neenah with Pride is the slogan that often comes up that shows just how proud we are of our community.